Daily Dose of Daryl, entitled Viewer's Digest, December 26th, 2021 through January 2nd, 2022. 7 segments, all for you. Remember, in the information section, click on the time to fast forward to the day. This week, we're looking at tips to help us in making the most out of this moving from one year to the next. These particular tips will be practical, starting with Monday magic. The real magic's in our heart, you know. Something available and often underused is the secret power now magically revealed in this segment.
See, you are different, but yet you can come together and make good choices. Now, you continue to grow personally and professionally when you come together, and that's where the secret power comes in. Young lady, come right up right now, please. Oh, yeah. This young lady is going to really help us out here. This is one of the highlights of the evening. Now, you'll notice I have this wonderful invention here. It has a curved surface, and these are my marbles. Okay, now, where are your marbles? She has lost her marbles. I'm going to let her borrow mine, and all you need to do is take that marble and put it up in that hole, and then you take that marble and put it in that hole, but you have to do them both at the same time. Now, if you step right over here, we'll be sure to have you and the camera right beside that, and go ahead and put the marbles in there. Now, while she's doing that, I'm going to take notes because my name is Inspector Clou Dumbo. My cousin was Inspector Clouseau. Parlez-vous français? Permettez-moi de vous présenter mon ami Jacques. Yeah, oui, oui. That was my first words to my parents. They thought I was French. I said, oui, oui, mama, oui. But then there was Lieutenant Colombo. He's my other cousin. And of course, I'm at the bottom of the gene pool. I'm the last one to go into law enforcement. I'm Inspector Clou Dumbo. Oh, did you get them in there yet?
No, I
Oh, there's not much clue going on here. But here's a clue. Look, you see how it's round right there? I think that's a secret. Now let's find something round. Oh, that plate on the top of that thing up there. And if you focus on that like I am, those marbles just jump right up in there like that, see? Okay, now try that. Focus on...
Which way did you turn it?
Now let me see. That's not working out. All right, hold on now. We have to find something else round. The top of Mr. Bradshaw's head. All right, I'm focusing on it, and look here. They jumped up there again. See that? Now try that right top of his head right there.
Okay.
No, we got one of them.
Uh-oh.
He's just half-hearted in this, isn't he? But now this time, I'm going to focus on his head, and you focus on this, okay?
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
You're going to focus on this? All right, now watch. You focus on me, I'm going to focus on him.
Huh.
Look how they jump right up there, see? There's a clue there. Maybe.
I can't twist it like you do.
Oh, I thought you were going to twist and shout. Look at it. Just like that, watch. Woo, back and forth. Got it? Try it one more time. All right. I tell you what, the easier way. Oh, she got it. Let's go. There was graduation from high school, there was marriage, there was babies being born, but this is a highlight in her life. I got the marbles back. But no, now wait a minute. Have you ever heard of Sir Isaac Newton? Yes. Sir Isaac Newton was sitting under an apple tree. An apple fell, hit him on the head. You know what he called that?
Gravity?
No, he called it a very bad day. But he didn't think that would look good in the science book, so he changed it to gravity. Now, you know I have 250 pounds of gravity pulling on me. If I didn't, I have 1 pound less, I'd float away, wouldn't I? But now, here's the thing. There's another thing where you tie a softball on a string and spin it, and that thing will come right up and overcome. It's more powerful than gravity. It's called centrifugal force. You spin it, that ball will stay in the air, right? That's centrifugal. Y'all knew about centrifugal force, didn't you? You probably knew about centrifugal force.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is centrifugal force right here. It's just enough power to run it right up the hill, both of them, and jump in the holes up there. But here's the problem. When we're in our business world, don't go away, sweetheart. When we're in our business world, or even in our personal life sometimes, the most powerful thing in the world is love, L-O-V-E. And that's a power. And there's nothing stronger than that. And yet we know about that power, but instead of applying that and using that to solve problems, most of the time we do it like this. I can figure that out. I can figure that out. And so there's a higher power called love that can really help solve problems for us. And we know it's there if we'll just use it, just like the centrifugal power. Now, this young lady has taught us that lesson, and we want to give her a rousing round of applause.
Love is the most powerful force in the world and is available to us at all times. But too often we fail to apply that power and try to figure things out all by ourselves. Tuesday Truth. This time of the year, many are looking back and then looking ahead to the next year. That's okay, but don't miss the present. It's a gift. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of all generations. Ask your father, and he'll inform you, your elders, and they will tell you. Only give heed to yourself, and keep your soul diligently, so that you do not forget the things which your eyes have seen, and they do not depart from your heart all the days of your life, but make them known to your sons and your grandsons. For everything that is written in the past was written to teach us, so that through the endurance taught in the Scriptures and the encouragement they provide, we might have hope. Here are some compelling reasons why we need to look back to see our way forward. The past can help you accelerate your path to success. Successful people evaluate their previous results and what they did to get them. This helps them to make better choices in the future and shortens their learning curve. Indeed, it can help us learn quicker, and we can avoid making the same mistakes when we do this. You can anticipate the future better after going through this procedure. You can build on your successes as they mount up. And you can learn from other people's experiences year after year. When you look back, you see how far you've gone, and you see the distance from where you were to where you are now. It's encouraging knowing that you have made huge improvements by moving away from your unhealthy and toxic past will give you a sense of fulfillment. It will make you want to keep pushing and never stop. You need to forget some feelings, but you need to remember the lessons that came with the experience. Revisiting the past will remind you of how you managed to survive it and what brought you to where you are now. In the daily hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to get caught up in the middle of life's chaos and forget your purpose. Looking back will remind you of why you are here in the first place and where exactly you're going. It will give you a sense of direction. When you look back, you get in touch with your inner self, who you were and what molded you to become who you are right now. Sometimes closure's needed. You can't heal if you're not willing to even acknowledge a painful situation. That pain will just continue to manifest itself in other areas. Looking back is an opportunity to laugh at yourself. All your boo-boos in the past, all your wrong decisions that led you to the right one. These memories can put a smile on your face over your bitterness. Now, especially fun to relive your past with friends. You prevent history from repeating itself. You prevent yourself from committing the same mistakes all over again, because looking back will refresh your memory as to what it was you vowed to never do again. When you look back, you may realize that you have let many opportunities pass you by. Maybe you didn't say the right words you should have said. And now you know better, all because your past reminds you of that. The purpose of reflection is not to throw pity party or a guilt trip. It's to learn from your difficulties and move on from them. This Tuesday Truth offers a lot of practical help as you make this transition from one year to the next. Turn the page wisely and thoughtfully. Wednesday Wisdom. The foolish man seeks happiness in the distance. The wise grows it under his feet. We need to learn to bloom where we're planted. Right here today, in this instance, this moment is so important for each of us. Happiness is when what you think and what you say and what you do are in harmony, an alignment, it's important that we begin to line up these things of what we're thinking and saying and doing. And that part right in the middle is for us. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you're attentive, you will see it. We need to open more than just our eyes, but we need to open all of our senses to be aware of the moment that we're in right now. You see, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. So many people are thinking happiness is in the future, but it's one now. Any way you look at that, forward or backwards, the victory is now for happiness. Love in action results in happiness. Happiness is not a goal. It's a byproduct. And it's when we're putting love into action that in that process we begin to realize we are happy. Happiness is something that multiplies when it's divided. The more you give, the more you have. It's so different than other things where you think the more you give, the less you have. Happiness is not that way. Continue to give love in action. The person who learns the secret of happiness is certainly a wise person. Happiness is not the goal. It is the byproduct of proper action and proper purpose. Thursday thrill. It is thrilling to look back at what makes up a year and all that takes place, one moment at a time. It goes by so quickly. Be sure to embrace each moment and savor the present moment. Looking back at this past year, from January behind the microphone into February and Valentine's celebrations and the fire department and St. Patrick's Day and a birthday and moving on through setting up new organizational of ways to serve not only through a local church but through a motivation bureau and to find ways to reach out to others. Each moment of the way, whether in the car, on the back porch, or in the garden, all of these moments were so special. And learning to appreciate and value and soak up each moment was what's really important. As I reflect on my year, I have some photographs and things that I can look back on and remind me of weddings that I were involved in and funerals and experiences and yard work and daily doses and all of those things. My question is, are you looking back at your year? Perhaps you lost some weight. Perhaps you had some grandchildren to play with. Perhaps you had an accident, whatever it might be. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to look back at your year, reflect on it, and learn that each of those moments were important? They help keep your blood pressure down and enjoying those moments, even at a funeral, making acquaintances again from the past. And so when I set up the PMB, the People's Motivation Bureau, and I started doing things, I did them every day. It was called Daily Dose of Daryl. Now, the reason I'm mentioning it is that because it caused me every day to find something valuable about that day, something positive, something unique, and to experience it and reflect on it. I encourage you, as you go through this next year, after having looked back on your past year, and you look back at the experiences you had with other people and situations, that you begin to think about this next year of valuing each moment that comes and learning to live in that moment, learning from the past and planning for the future. But take this next year, 2022, and let the words of Scripture and the other types of influences you have in your life to help you become one that really sees that happiness is in the moment. The value of each moment is so important. So one of the things I did was plant some pumpkin seeds. I watched them grow, and I saw at one point that a big machine came and crushed them. It wasn't as bad as having cancer, though, was it? And so everything's relative. And so you can learn from other people, and you can learn from the talents of other people. But the main thing is when you're experiencing them, be sure to stop and enjoy them and find the happiness in each of those moments. And then when you look back again the next year, it will become even more valuable because of how you've grown and what you've learned in that period of time. I encourage people to have a wide variety of experiences, but you know yourself best. Pick what's right for you. Some of you may like growing things in the yard, decorating. Some may like reading. Some may like going on to the digital things and real-life programs, and some might like to read the newspaper. Whatever it is, you find that moment and let it be special to you as you help uncover the beauty in other people, share friendships and times with relatives. All of these things are so important. As you do that, ask yourself, what's your purpose? What's your overall purpose? And how are those experiences you're having helping to relate to that purpose and fulfill that purpose as you go through life? There's so many different things you'll face each day and so many different things that will come at you. How will you allow those to transfer through you to other people to the end of the year? The seconds become minutes, that become hours, that become days, that become weeks, that become months, that become an entire year. Remember to cherish them one at a time. Friday flashback. Sydney, Australia. I first learned of Australia when I was a small child from my dad. He had visited Australia. He talked about it. He brought a small picture frame back that had little koala bears on it. That's all I knew of Australia. Until I finally, as an adult, was able to visit Australia. And as I was at the very top of the Westfield restaurant, looking out over this vast panoramic view, I reflected back to my dad, an earlier generation that had been here. Most of this was not here at that time. That was back in the early 1940s, and he was in his early 20s, age-wise. And yet there was something that stuck in my brain, that there was a connection there. And I knew if I ever made it there, I would have that connection again with my father. My oldest son made it to Australia in the Navy. And he came across these same waters that my father had come across. And as he came across those waters in that ship, my father saw these rocks. They were there at the time, a place to enter into the Sydney harbor. And so when he came across that vast expanse of water and made his way in between those rocks, he saw his first glimpse of Sydney, and he saw the bridge. That bridge that was there in the 1940s was on the picture he brought back to me. And so the trip that I made there was very special. Even before I got there, I had met someone from Australia, my other brother, Daryl. Daryl R. Peebles from Australia. And so we got to know each other before I ever got to be in his homeland, in a land where my dad and my oldest son had already been. And so when I stood there looking at that bridge, I knew the Opera House was beautiful, but it wasn't there when my dad was there. The bridge was. But my son was there in Australia after the Opera House was there. And so I began to connect my generations in my family. And I began to realize that the other Darrell Peebles in Australia, his family and his generations led back to Fife, Scotland. And so a life of the two of us, worlds apart, doing the same things, finally came together when we met. And so that little picture frame now has the two Daryls in it, one from Australia, one from the United States, born starting out in life at the same year, 1949, 300 years later, after Captain David Peebles left Scotland. And so when I look at that picture frame now, I not only see the two of us and my oldest son that was there, but I see my dad and his dad. Connecting the generations gives us a foundation to build upon, a vision to dream upon, plus a reminder to find the happiness in each step along the way of our own life. Saturday Summary. Don't lose your marbles. Use the power of love each day, and things will fall in place. Learn from those who came before you as you look back and reflect in life. And bloom where you're planted. Today is the present, the real gift. Celebrate each moment. Don't let them go by without value and meaning. And connect the generations in your life, and you'll have a great foundation. The secret power is available to all, and it's revealed as the power of love. Looking back is important, but learning is most important. Each moment of life is called the present because it's a gift that holds your happiness. Celebrate the moments where you have put love into action with your life. Learning to connect the generations strengthens the chain of life for everyone. Sunday Silence. Take a few moments of silence and list the ways you have applied the secret power of love this week. Then pause and reflect. What have you learned this week from someone who came before you, and how have you applied it? Pause and reflect. What adjustment have you made this week that helps you find happiness in the moment more than before? Pause and reflect. In reflecting on your life in the past year, where have you demonstrated love in action? Pause and reflect. What specific way did you help connect the generations during this past week, and what did you learn from that activity? Pause and reflect. I am Darrell R. Peebles, still behind the microphone, putting something positive out every day through the Peebles Motivation Bureau. It's positive, personal, and professional. I encourage you to look into the Peebles Motivation Bureau. We have the digital division that's much more than the Daily Dose. We have the real division, so we're going out now not only doing funerals and weddings and pulpit supply, but magic shows, keynote speaking. And the print division has our books, magazines, and many other pieces of artwork. Check it all out. Locally ordered books, I cover the tax and shipping, plus they're signed. Contact me directly to secure your local signing delivery. Some have already gotten this book and started their journey of growth. I hope you can soon. Discounts for local churches, special gift for the pastor. I appreciate you, your ideas and support. Keep them coming. Check out any of these other areas and let me know if I can help you. Contact points are here. Get in touch with me now. This Daily Dose of Darrell encourages you to go out and have a great day. Make it a great day because it is the only one you have. And each dose on this channel can move us toward a better, healthier, and more informed body, mind, and spirit. I'm excited to be a small part of the expanding of our capacity to learn, love, and forgive, and together leave this world a better place for all. God bless you.